Right. So there are a few aspects of every auction, and as I was saying, every search is another auction, and every single search, things change when it comes to AdWords. Like the bids change, people have different bids at different times. There's different players, all different things can happen at all different times of the day. So every single time somebody does a search is another auction. And something else about AdWords is that we only pay for clicks, not for impressions. AdWords focuses on the relevancy, just like by SEO. They're very much into the relevancy of our websites. When it comes to PPC, also they want to focus on the relevancy and they want to give a good experience. So they want our ads to be relevant, which are the equivalent of metadata for people who don't know what ads are, and relevant in terms of keywords being similar, and landing pages being relevant and giving the right information that the people are looking for. Giving the relevant thing, not something completely different. So that's important, even though there's money involved here. So it's not all about relevancy, and there's money. I think Google make 97% of their income from the ads. Nevertheless, relevancy is very important because people will not use Google unless they're relevant in terms of the ads and the landing pages. People don't want to go to a landing page which isn't going to give them the answer they're looking for. So the Google ads use a second price auction model, and that we're going to talk a lot about today, how this works. And that means that you pay 1 penny more than whatever bid of the guy who was below you in the SERP, in the ads. So your max CPC bid, what you bid and you decide in AdWords, you can put that in when you're doing your keywords in AdWords. You can decide what your max CPC bid is, your max cost per click bid. So that's the most you're willing to pay for a click. And you don't necessarily pay that. You just pay 1 penny more than the guy who's below you. Just check. No, I don't think it's anything at all. I think they've never charged for impressions. Okay. I don't think they ever charge for impressions.
You can set it up to pay for impressions.
Even in the search or only in display? Even in the search ads you can do impressions? Mainly, do you know?
I think so.
I didn't think you could.
Don't pay for impressions.
I think it's all. I think for search ads it's only like I think for display maybe you could do impressions. Definitely in other in not AdWords, definitely in Facebook you can definitely do impressions and other kinds of. I think very often it's impressions for other things, but for AdWords I think almost everyone does clicks. Anyhow, so
you can pay for like 1,000. You pay per 1,000 impressions.
You pay for, oh yeah, I think that's something else. Maybe you're thinking of you might be thinking of where you have an automated bid strategy and they base it on to try and get you the most impressions. I'm not so sure that.
No, I think you can pay, I think you can set it up with a pay model where you pay per 1,000 impressions.
Okay.
It's more commonly used for display, but I think it could be used for search too.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, for the majority, so the max CPC bid is the most you're willing to pay for it, but you don't necessarily pay that. You just pay 1 penny more than the guy who's below you, and we're going to talk a lot about that in the upcoming slides. I just want to look at, so we're just going to look at like a very, very basic, this is not really how it is, but just to get a basic idea of how the auctions are working, just want to look at a basic one. So let's say these are all different people who are in a certain auction, and they all are doing different bids. They're all bidding different amounts. Let's say this auction's worth more to some of them than others. Maybe Daniel's a surgeon, so he wants to bid 6. because he's going to charge for specialty. Maybe David is just trying to sell glasses, and that's why he's only. So that's why everyone's got a different. And we have all the different relevancies here. These are the relevancy of the ads, and the. This is not really how it's calculated by Google. They do quality score, but we're just going to just get a basic idea. We're going to look at these. So the ad rank, and this is the way they used to do it, would be the ad rank is the max CPC times the quality score. So here we're just going to give the relevancy a quality score. If kilo is a quality score, and we're just going to give these numbers to look at how we'd come up in the SERP in the auction. So Daniel's on $6, and his relevancy is low because his ads are low relevancy. His landing page is not high quality. It's not. So he would get, let's say, a 10 ad rank. Amy has a medium relevancy. It would be 12. Jonah would get 16 because he has a high relevancy, even though his bid's lower, but it would get 16. Dov has a 3 and a low one, so his is pretty low ad rank. Sue is got medium, so hers comes at 7, and David is only using $1, but he's got high relevancy, so he's going to get 13. So in terms of position, now we see that Jonah's got 16, is going to get the first position. David with 13 gets the second position. Amy gets the third position. Daniel's on the fourth, and it goes by the number of their ad rank, where they're going to be in the SERPs, where they're going to be in the auction. And since there's only 5 places in this, Dov's going to get knocked off because he only came out with 6. So what is this is all not, we're not bringing quality score in yet. What is the quality score? So the real idea of why they brought quality score in 2005 is because great ads will make a great customer experience, and that will lead to long-term customer retention. So they want their ads to be good and to give a good experience in terms of the ads and the landing pages and everything about it. So ad rank is the number that determines where we're going to be, as we saw earlier, and the ad rank gets determined nowadays by the quality score. So before the quality score was introduced in 2005, the old ad rank was just the max CPC times your click-through rate. And it's true that somebody could get a worse click-through rate if they had bad ads, so there was some kind of, a small relevancy just by your ads. Your landing page didn't matter at all. But essentially, the higher position was always rewarded to the highest bidder, and that did not ensure a high-quality experience. So later on, they introduced quality score just to show you where on an AdWords account do we see the quality score. So it's actually not there automatically. You have to press columns and bring in the quality score, but you can bring it in, and this is what the quality score looks like. It's a number from 1 to 10. Usually your branded term, in this case Island Vision, would be the highest. And then this is just ranked from the highest to the lowest, but there's lower ones as well. So what are the main components of it? I guess this is the most Lemisa part over here of what we can do to improve the quality score. Let me just have a look at these messages. Okay. This is the most Lemisa part. So the first thing that makes up the quality score is the click-through rate. That's the clicks divided by impressions times 100. So how many people are clicking on it? Is it getting clicked on, or is it just getting looked at? So it's quite important to make your ads really enticing so that they get clicked on a lot. You don't want to just show your ads to people who are not necessary. Also, you want to show your ads to people who are going to click on them, because that's the most important component of the quality score. The second most important is the keyword to the ad relevance, so the keywords similar to the ads, not necessarily the same terms and not keyword stuffing, but similar. Semantic.
How do you improve ad relevance? Use the word eye doctor.
Yeah, ad relevance. You improve ad relevance by the keywords being the same or similar words. That's how you improve the ad relevance.
No, but what I'm saying is that if you have the keyword is eye doctor and each ad is eye doctor, then why wouldn't the ad relevance just be 10 out of 10?
Yeah, no, because there's other things, like it's not just one time. You want to have other similar words to eye doctor, like optometrist in the description. Like it's just once is not enough. You want to be, without keyword stuffing, you want to try and really show that the ad's relevant. You don't want to keyword stuff. You still want to have a good click through rate, because that's the even bigger component. So you want it to look good, but you can't just have like have an eye doctor keyword and then have a completely different shoes ad. That would be a really low quality score. But in general, you're right. The way we do it is in terms of the keyword is completely fine.
And one question then. Is there a concept of adding certain keywords that would detract? Like, I might, let's just say, hypothetically, the word visit, just hypothetically. So if I say, book an eye exam, and I use the word eye exam properly, not overstuffed, and theoretically would be 10 after 10. But since I used a keyword that's, neged the word, then the keyword eye exam, it would actually subtract. So is there an idea of where you have a positive influence with keyword and then an active negative relevance, as opposed to it's just not the ads versus keywords, the keywords versus ad relevance?
I hear what you're saying. That's a good question, but I'd imagine that we don't really know.
Okay,
and the people are getting better all the time. That kind of thing.
I'm just saying, because it seems to be fairly straightforward to knock ad relevance and keyword relationship out of the park, unless we're adding in certain terminology that we shouldn't be using.
Right, but again, we never see what that quality score is, and we only just see an overall quality score.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I hear that.
So okay. Based on a lot of things, and also one thing that I'm going to mention now, even though it's really not for now, but some industries don't get more than 4 in the quality score ever, unless.
And why is that true?
Why? Because they've been abused in AdWords in the past, such as the law industry, and therefore it takes several years before you can get over a 5 for those industries, because they don't trust anyone. It's not I don't believe we have the problem, but in other industries, insurance and different industries where they've been abused in the past, it's very difficult to get a high quality score for anyone. So the third most important component is the query relevance, and that is the search term that they used being similar to our keywords. And the fourth is the landing page relevance. And the main different things, and these are the main things in landing page. When it comes to landing page, the main thing is having your keywords in the landing page, and there being 2. So as Rodansky suggests, he thinks there needs to be 2 to 3 paragraphs of text, and unique content as opposed to any duplicate content, which is a lot of similar things to SEO. So I think this is this number 1 thing is the main issue with our landing pages, that they don't have much text at all, and they do need, not unique content. Our landing pages just have the basic information, so we need to have more text there. Also, not just for, that's just for the quality score, but in terms of people converting, I would imagine that people who see more text and they read about it are more likely to enjoy the site more and convert. So I felt that for a while that if we don't have a nice landing page yet, we should just revert, or I don't know if we ever had in the first place. I think we should send all of our AdWords to the home page, and even though we'll be losing out on the fact that it's not a landing page, and the reason why you have a landing page is because of CRO, conversion rate, because there's no menus and people don't go off. But I still think it would be better off being on the home page, because the home page is unique.
Why don't we just make a separate copy of the home page and just tweak it?
We don't even need to make a separate copy of the home page. Oh, yeah, we could make a separate copy of the home page.
Just tweak it.
And remove the menus. So the only problem there is the unique content thing, because it will not be unique.
But it'll be no crawl, so we don't really care that it's that unique.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, though. I think we should make a copy of the thing and then remove the menus, or even less good than your idea is to just send them to the homepage, but your idea is slightly better, where we would remove the menu and just send them to a duplicate of the homepage.
Exactly. We would still be able to keep all the tracking separate and...
Right. Yeah, well, the tracking would be separate anyway, because it would be separate. The tracking would still be separate, even if we were sending to the very same.
Would still be separate. No, you're right.
The thing is, like most people actually do send their people to the homepage. Most people do not have a separate landing page. We wanted to be better by having a landing page, but I think maybe we made it worse. I think we might be even worse because of that in terms of quality score. And we're going to see how important the quality score is in a few minutes. So let me continue.
Well, just one more question. I'm sorry. I know I'm just dragging this on. What about the dynamic headers that we used to use? Does that
they definitely help in terms of quality score landing page relevance. In terms of keywords, yes, I do agree that they help. I think from what I've seen, having paragraphs of text are more important to Google. They know that
a combination of the homepage idea and dynamic headers.
Dynamic headers are good. I think that was like the dynamic header was more like a very, very advanced idea, and we kind of missed. I feel like we maybe missed some basics by not having paragraphs of text, which could have been even more important.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Having paragraphs of text and unique content is more important than having dynamic headers, in my opinion, from all the different things I've read. The load time is important. It's not like SEO where we really want to have a very fast load time. It's not a big deal. As long as it loads like normally, we're fine when it comes to load time in AdWords. Spy durability, also just having a robot.txt file and having all the technical SEO in place is that, and that's even more simple when it comes to AdWords. I think we're okay when it comes to our spy durability. Maybe this means I don't know if this means that we don't want to make it no follow. I think it's fine even if it's no follow, but we'll need to double check that, because I think we do make it no follow. But we also do have a robot.txt file, and I'm sure it's in there, so should be fine. Transparency means that you're not to give them any kind of unauthorized, anything happening which they don't want to, signing them up for any newsletters or anything happening on the page which is not what the user wants to happen. And the last one is navigation, that they should be able to navigate the page. That's the lowest now because people do use landing pages a lot with no navigation, and Google aren't bothered by that, even if there's no menu, as long as it's normal. So these are the kind of percentages which experts have given to how important each thing is. So the click-through rate is the most important. That's actually 65% of the quality score. Relevance, including both the keywords and the query and the ad relevance, and those two make up 25% of the quality score, and landing page only makes up 10% of the quality score. So what number are we looking for when you look at your AdWords accounts every month? What number is a good quality score? What should you do? So 7 is a good benchmark goal for our quality score, and with many of our good accounts, like I was showing before, 7 is kind of normal. If it's like 1, you should just get rid of them. If it's 2 or 3, it's salvageable. If it's an important keyword, you should try and do what you can to improve the relevance and the landing page experience. If it's 4 or 5 or 6, these are the ones that you should dedicate the most of the time to, because those are the ones that have the most potential. If you manage to get 8, 9, then you're doing great, and 10 is the best you can do. Very rare, but sometimes in branded keywords we get 10. And you wouldn't care about quality score if you get less than 1,000 to 1,500 impressions, or less than 100 to 250 clicks on any of those keywords. It's not even worth worrying about the quality score yet, because it's too few clicks or impressions to have a accurate number. So you don't start worrying about any of these until you've hit those amount of clicks. Okay, so as we said above, in 2005 they came out with the new ad rank, which was now the max CPC times the quality score. So that is the main equation we go by now. It's your bid times the quality score gives you your ad rank, and that decides where you're going to rank in Google in the auction. Now, when extensions were added later, so the truth is that they also get taken into effect. I'm not sure if I think I wrote this wrong, this equation. I wrote this wrong. But I think the idea is that the max CPC is times the quality score is 80%, and the ad extensions are 20%. This is supposed to be times 0.2. And this is from Brad Geeds. I have his book. His book is called The Advanced AdWords. It's a very good book on how AdWords work, and he talks about this. So he says that the ad extensions now have a 20%. So we talked about all the other things before, but the ad extensions are very important. In general, we just talk about this one over here because we don't want to get confused, but ad extensions do make 20% of the difference to the quality score. That was only later. I think 2000, I'm trying to remember what year it was. Can't remember right now. I think 2012. Anyhow. Okay. So now we're going to really look at how the auction works and really get into the numbers. This is really how the auction works and how much you pay for, how much do you actually pay. So we have all different bids here, again, and different quality scores that they happen to have. And therefore, we do it, so the max CPC is this, the bid times the quality score gives you your ad rank. So Daniel's going to have 9, because 9 times 1, Amy will have 7 times 3, 21, Jonah will have 6.25 times 7, which is 43.75, Sue is going to have 5 times 3, which is 15, and David will have 10 times 2, which is 20, and therefore, Jonah will be in the first place, Amy will be in second place, over here, David will be in third place, and Sue will be in fourth place, in this case. Right, so before we go on to seeing how much, that's just the same as we saw before about now bringing in quality score. Now we're going to start looking at the more complicated thing, is how much is each person paying. So this fellow, Varian, who's the chief economist of Google, he gives this equation to work out how much each person is paying. He says that the P1 times Q1 equals B1 over times Q2. So that is the price advertiser 1 is willing to pay times the quality score of advertiser 1. That's you, who's above somebody, or whoever is above somebody. And then that equals the bid of advertiser below him. I don't know why it's called B1. I think it should be called B2, but for some reason where I saw it's called B1. The bid of the advertiser below him times the quality score of the advertiser below him. So if you change the equation around, then you can get your price that you're willing to pay. The price that you are going to pay is going to be the bid of the advertiser below times the ad rank, which is the bid times the ad rank is the bid times the quality score, and that's going to be divided by your quality score. So that's a bit complicated, but basically it's the ad rank divided by his ad rank, the guy below you's ad rank, divided by your quality score. It gives you what you pay.
I think if you just go back to that for a second, I think P1 is not the amount you're willing to pay, it's the amount you're actually going to pay.
Alright, fine. I agree with that 100%, yes.
So the reason why they did B1 but Q1 and Q2 have separate things is because it's not, the 1 and 2 is not referring to the position 1 and 2. It's just as soon as you have 2 of something with the same variable, you have to call one of them 1 and one of them 2. So that's why Q has Q1 and Q2. But since there's only one P and one B.
Okay, now I understand. Thank you very much. Okay, so that makes sense now. Fine. So now we have, basically, it comes out that the price somebody will actually pay is the ad rank divided by your quality score. His ad rank divided by your quality score. So I put it up here. His ad rank divided by your quality score is what you're going to pay. So let's look at these people and how much they're going to. Let's look at how much they're going to actually pay. So firstly, what's Joe going to pay? So what is the ad rank of Amy? 21 divided by our quality score. So 21 divided by 7 is, 1 second here, yeah, 3. So that's what you pay. Jonah's going to pay 3. Because Amy, the person below him's ad rank divided by his quality score is 3. How much is Amy going to pay? So she is going to pay, the person below her is David. So his ad rank is 20 divided by 3 is going to come out to 6.67. That's why she pays.
How does the bid factor into this, though?
The bid is the maximum you're willing to pay.
But it has to factor into this price at the end, no?
It just can be more. It just means that you're not willing to pay more than that. So if you're not willing to pay more, then you won't be able to make that place. I think that's what it means. So let's say it happened to be more. If it was 7, if this was going to be 7 point something, sorry, go back. If this was going to be 7 point, Amy would not be able to be second place. She would have to be third place. This is the maximum you're willing to pay. If it's more than that, if the actual CPC is more than you're willing to pay, then you'll be knocked down at a different place. Third place is David. So he's, I'm just going to exit so we can see this better. He is his ad rank. So he's going to be paying the ad rank of Sue, who's below him, divided by his quality score, which means he's paying 150. And Sue is going to do the ad rank of Daniel divided by her quality score, meaning 9 divided by 5 is $1.80. So we can see so from this we see firstly that people who are higher in the auction pay less sometimes, like Joe is paying $3 here, where Amy is paying 6, and then so it's because she's got a lower quality score, she's paying a lot more. So we see how much a lower quality score can affect the amount you pay, and how important. So I want to change. Let's say Amy had a 6 quality score instead of a 3. How would that change things over here? That would mean if she had a 6, then the ad rank of the person below her, which is 20, we get divided by 6 instead. So could anybody have a calculator? 20 divided by 6. Hold on, sorry.
3.33.
3.33. So her actual PPC would drop down to 3.33. It's just because she has a higher, she'd be paying $3 less just for having a higher quality score. If Sue's was only 4 instead of 5, what would the difference be? That means that David would be 20 divided by 4 instead of by 5. So what would that come out as?
20 divided by 4 is 5.
So wait a minute, something must be wrong here. Wait a minute, 20, no, sorry, the person below him. Yeah, 15 divided by, sorry, so for her, the person below her is Daniel, so his ad rank divided by her quality score, 9 divided by 4.
Is 2.25.
So if hers dropped by 1, it changes to 2.25. So her, just by 1 quality score, already jumps up. And what happens if David, instead of having a $2 bid, was to instead have a $4 bid, how would that affect things? So then it would be 4 times 10, and his ad rank would jump up to 40 instead of 20. And then he would be not third anymore. He would be second. So we change around everything. Whatever. I'm not actually going to do this calculation right now. But basically, Amy's CPC would jump really high because of that. See, Bernard. And that's it. So that's how important, basically how important your quality score is in the prices and how you come out. And we see, so basically PPC is kind of like SEO, but we have, money involved, so it just has money as a kind of driving factor, but in order to direct it to the right place, in order to get somewhere, you have to have a good quality. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
So is there any other questions? So let me just let me just stop sharing screens, and is my screen off now?